Um, I've written about a couple of years ago, and it has a lot of the experiences I had up there that time.
Great. Well, I can't wait to. I'll contact you. We'll set up a date and time. I got your phone number now, so we won't have a problem again. And we'll get you booked in for like 2 hours in December. Hey, Samantha, I want to thank you for coming on the show.
Oh, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, the time went by so fast too.
Yeah.
Okay, my friend, you have a great evening, and better yet, have a great weekend coming up.
Thanks, Gary.
Okay.
We'll talk.
Night. Now, I want you guys, if you get a chance, check out our new web. It's totally redone. It's still got a little bit of work in the makings. I plan here very shortly to start putting our guest info for that each week. We have a guest on each night, I should say. They will have the information on each guest, their photo and all that stuff. And that'll be done really shortly. But right now, I have a little bit about me, how I started out in broadcasting on it, the whole, dirty details. A little bit about Michael W. Hall, who does a show Saturday from 7 to 8 p.m. on Night Dreams Talk Radio. And, some photos and just general stuff, plus a donation button. Right now we have like 259 hours of content that you can go back to and listen for free on the archives. No, you don't have to join a club. You don't have to pay a monthly due to listen to prior shows. They're free. You can also find us on all the major apps, Night Dreams Talk Radio. And if you don't find us under Night Dreams Talk Radio, some of the apps have us. I still can't figure out how. We got to get that corrected next. Is under Night Dreams Radio. So you can go on Night Dreams Radio on the internet. It will pop up on a whole bunch of apps, and will pop up on a ton of apps under Night Dreams Talk Radio. Oh, Halloween. Where I live, I get virtually no trick-or-treaters, which is bad for me because I am overweight. And, we buy a bag of candy just in case we get trick-or-treaters. And then what happens is, well, I don't get any trick-or-treaters. So those candies keep saying, Gary, eat me. Hey, well, I can't resist. You put nice candy in front of me, I'm going to eat it. Halloween, one of my friends, Michael W. Hall, his mother has a little ritual she's been doing for years and years and years. On Halloween, or just before Halloween, she sets up her Christmas tree, Christmas lights, and it's all set up in her neighborhood. All the kids just love coming to her house for trick-or-treating, for they can see her Christmas tree. Now, how many people put Christmas trees up on Halloween? I can see it at Thanksgiving. But you know what? That's really awesome that somebody has that type of spirit, to, want to share Christmas. Why not? There's so many negative things going on right now. I mean, we have the earth changes. We have the economy. I still was in shock when I read that the stock market lost $2 trillion and some change in October. That's a heck of a lot of money just to go poof into thin air. And the thing that still got me a little concerned is, the troops going to the border. It just seems like every day it keeps going higher and higher and higher. And that's not good. And I have my mixed feelings about that. I think, I don't know, maybe it's because of voting coming up. I don't know. The other thing I don't like is all the news media talking about war. Former generals and stuff like saying, oh, we're going to be with war with China within the next 15 years. I guess if you have that in your brain, I guess something bad can happen. But I guess, too, if you start pushing the country farther, just like if some countries big or bigger in some ways than us started pushing us around, we're not going to be happy about it. And, we're humans, and all it takes is one error, and we could be in war, and which, that scares me. But then, and I was reading also in the news today, which really was kind of alarmed, that if all of a sudden we ended up with a war with China, would Russia join in? And they said that we don't have the military capability to fight two major wars at one time. In other words, if something happened with China, we're going to devote virtually all our military in the Asia field, and that's going to leave us open, up in Europe. So I don't know. I hate all this talk about wars all the time, and it seems like now, I mean, with the economy, with the tariffs and all this stuff now, it's just like the news is not really happy news anymore. It's like either the economy or it's about, the stock market or a possible war, the troops being put on the border. I mean, what's your opinion on that? Do you think we should actually be putting all these troops on the border? I got a call here. I think it's James. Let's see. Well, hi. Who do we have?
Hi, hello, Gary.
Well, hi, James. How you doing tonight?
Doing good. I hope you're feeling better.
Well, I found out today when I went to the doctor, and they pumped in all this cortisones in my knees and all this other parts. I got a cracked, what's it? Not tailbone, hip.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. So I better not fall down again or it's going to snap. So, hey, I did a good job to myself. I'll tell you that.
Boy, I guess that was a couple weeks ago now, wasn't it?
Yeah, 2 weeks ago, and then I couldn't figure out why. It's funny when you hurt yourself. Some of the times when you hurt yourself, not all of it comes out the first day or two, or even a week later. All of a sudden, stuff starts happening where you start feeling, all these weird aches and pains. It got to the point, between my knees, being messed up, or both of them from the fall, and then, all of a sudden my hip started hurting this past week, like really bad. Every time I take a step, it felt like somebody was stabbing me in the hip with a screwdriver. Well, what can I?
They're all connected, so every time you take a step, it's a chain reaction.
Well, I feel really good if I lay down in bed on my right side. Sitting in the chair is not comfortable. Driving is not comfortable. I find that if you're laying on your bed on your right side, don't hurt, but if you flip on the left side and then try to come back to the right side, what can I say?
Oh, boy. Look out.
Now, Halloween. You know where I live, James? I got a little miniature farm, and I'm kind of off the beaten path a little bit. I mean, there's houses around here, but to get to my house, I'm the only one that has like a little forest, mini forest, with cedar trees, like almost 2 acres of them. And
the Gary compound.
Yeah, it is kind of a compound. And you have to go down this road about a quarter of a mile, my gravel road, to come to my house. So I don't really get any trick-or-treaters. But this year I was all set. I had this really scary mass. I was going to, if anybody was brave enough to come to the front door, I was going to put on this scary mask that actually I'm looking at right now. And you might have seen it in some of the pictures of the studio. It's kind of scary. And I was going to scare some kids. Well, Now, the good news and the bad news, okay? The last 2 weeks, since I haven't been able to walk around, I gained 9 pounds, which I'm not a big guy. That's bad. Then the other bad news or good news is I bought a bag of candy for the trick-or-treaters. And I tell you, they're sitting here right in front of me saying, eat me.
Don't let it go to waste, Gary.
Yeah, eat me. And, like when I had my last guest on, I was like, I opened up one of them. I said it sitting right in front of me. I was going to, stick it in my mouth. But then could you imagine me asking him a question going, so. But now, we got you for about 15 minutes. I want to talk about some scary stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Black eye.
Yeah, I've seen a few things.
Yeah, well, I'm going to talk about, stories, be it real or not. One of them, my friend on his show, a departed friend, Art Bell, I remember this call, this like it was yesterday. In fact, I even have had a couple dreams about it through the years.
Oh, wow.
But in this case, the guy was getting into his car, which was in an empty parking lot in a mall, a big mall. And it was raining, and it was cold. And these 3 kids, like two boys and a girl, come up to him and saying, "We want to get in your car. We're cold." And he was looking at him, and he started feeling really sorry for him because they're out it's like 11 or 12 o'clock at night, and it's pouring down rain, and it's cold, and these kids are all soaking wet. And and his heart saying, "Yeah, get in the car, get in the car." But he noticed their eyes were black.
Oh boy!
No, they're just black, and they kept asking to come in, and he got scared, and he took off. And it's like all these reports of black-eyed children, even black-eyed people. The same thing is. It was another one where out in a rural area, the guy and his wife had a house on a dead-end road, and all of a sudden they had a knock at the door, and it was again a boy and a girl, and it's late at night and the weather's bad, it's cold and all this stuff, and they're knocking the door and saying, "Please let us in, we're cold, we're hungry," and the heart, they felt like, we gotta let them in, and they're looking for their people, and then they know people, I should say. They're looking, and they notice that the eyes were black.
Ouch!
And then when they refused to let them in, they kind of got a little bit of violent, and then they disappeared. And it's been so many cases of black-eyed children. Like are they demons or what? They're asking to come in, and they keep pushing, because they want to be invited in.
Yeah, it's almost it's like the old vampire lore. You got to be invited in, almost, is what it seems like.
Oh yeah,
everything I've heard. Yeah, that is some. I've heard all kinds of stories about that. Now, in all my years, I've never encountered any. Not in my travels, but I've heard many a tale almost similar to verbatim what you just said. Actually.
Well, if you got somebody coming to your house, of course, nowadays, you can go down to the mall, right? And you can go buy, contacts. And you can put them on your eyes and go trick-or-treating. You think if somebody came up, say if I lived even in a populated area, if somebody came knocking on my door going trick-or-treat, I'm cold, can I come in for a minute to warm up? And they got black eyes. Now, do you make the decision? Do you let them in your house? Or do you say, hey, pop out when you're contacts? And instead of popping out a contact, they pop out their whole eye. I don't know.
Me, I'm a little different. I'm fearless, so I'd probably let them in and say, well, let me call the police for you or something, because I know I can take care of myself. They make one wrong move, it's on. But, yeah, I would let them in my house. I would let them in, but I'm not right in the head. So I'd try to help them, but Lord help them if they make a wrong move. It's on, but...
Wow, but what happens if you let them in and they vaporize you or something? How do you know they're not aliens or something? Or all of a sudden, they're
yeah, that's true, too.
Maybe they're cold and hungry and you're their delight.
Yeah, maybe they want to come for dinner and I'm the main course. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Never thought of it like that.
And no one's going to realize that except your mortgage company or the person you rent your house comes from when you don't make your payment monthly. Somebody's going to call up and say, hey, where is John Doe? You're gone.
He went to lunch and never came back.
Yeah, or he was part of lunch.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, listen, those things could be interdimensional, could be aliens. Who knows? Yeah, I mean, there's just not enough information on it. But I'll tell you, I've heard a lot of stories just like that, and it's not isolated to one part of the country either. It's from New England to California, all over.
Well, it's worldwide, seriously.
Yeah,
and some of this goes
right.
Even going back before there was internet. Now, like some of the old Art Bell shows, back in the early 1900s, or 1900s, 1990s.
1990s?
Yeah, 1990s. Computers, you didn't have the internet as such. You had where you can go on to a bulletin board, and post stuff and read it, and other people would post stuff.
Yeah,
right. Big change. And even back then in 18, well, I got these weird dates in my head. Yeah, and in the 1800s, yes. Man, maybe I should have been born then. With my knowledge, you know what? I could have been as good as Trump. But if you really think, I forgot, you might be a Trump supporter. But I'm not knocking Trump, okay? I think, what he's doing is great. And then some of the things he's doing is not great. Like, he should get rid of his cell phone, Mr. Trump. Get rid of your personal cell phone. I know that you're making these sexual conversations with your wife or others. And do you realize